Keenan Allen and the Chargers slide into each other's DMs and maybe even get a little bit in their feels. Less than 48 hours after trading for bullpen help, the Dodgers lose their second closer and the Kings move to retain one of their own. Seeing as how the guys that they added this offseason are meh at best. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is August 2nd, 2025. I am back in a half-star hotel. The days of working in the Pacific Northwest drawing down. I will soon spread the gospel of LA to other parts of the country. Now on the plus side, we added multiple new subscribers to the Angeleno Familia. Thank you. We'll do our best to keep you informed. And if you'd like being in the know about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a quick look at the scoreboard. Dodgers 5, Tampon Bay 0. Right after the trade deadline, another W up on the board. LAFC tied Pachuca in regulation 1-1 in Leagues Cup, but the Black and Gold win on penalty kicks 4-2. The Sparks needed 2 overtimes, but they edged Seattle 108-106. And in a surprising highlight, no sex toys were thrown on the court for a WNBA game. Boggles the mind. Seattle knocked out Angel City FC 2-0. Meanwhile, today the Dodgers are at Tampon Bay at 10 a.m. What do you say we get to the news? NFL.com reports that wide receiver Keenan Allen, a free agent, has talked with the Chargers on Friday, and there is mutual interest. Yes, all the mutuals, all the interests. Somebody find out if Coast 103.5 on your FM dial still plays love songs, Broken Hearts Can Always Mend. Now, Allen spent 11 years devoted to the Bolts, even when they played in that rat trap down in Slime Diego. He was traded to Chicago last offseason because the Chargers were buried under the salary cap. Ultra buried. Mega buried. It's like this. This is hell, and this is Jeffrey Epstein. This is the NFL salary cap, and that was the Chargers. That's how bad it was. Allen was okay with the Bears when he played there last year, but Chicago decided to build around Caleb Williams with younger skill players. And then, meanwhile, in LA, Mike Williams suddenly retired. And when that happened, fans at training camp started chanting Keenan Allen's name. And you can understand why. 11 years with the Bolts. Now, to be clear, a deal is not imminent. And he's also 33, which means he's not exactly going to burn up the turf. But for a team that lacks hands, Keenan Allen is, what do you say, a definite solution to a problem? Just saying. And now it's time for your daily injured Dodger pitcher update. Just one day after all of us, myself included, were scheming ways for the Dodgers to survive without overpaying for a closer at the trade deadline, second string closer Kirby Yates was placed on the injured list with lower back pain Friday. Moreover, the dude took a flight back to LA for further testing. Because if there's one thing we all look forward to with back pain, it's a 5-hour transcontinental flight. Not that there's turbulence over the Gulf of Mexico or anything, am I right? Now, having said that, Yates could probably use a little time off. He's been almost as shaky as injured first-string closer Tanner Scott. Yates has a 4.31 ERA, for example. He was on the injured list earlier this year with a hamstring problem. Dave Roberts says Yates' fastball has been just fine, but his split-fingered pitch, Yates' out pitch, quote, has been non-existent, unquote. Now you put all that into the mix and maybe, just maybe, The Dodgers are finally getting the memo about how it's a bad idea to gas your bullpen. They've got two relievers who are already done for the year. Meanwhile, currently on the injured list, you have Scott, Yates, Michael Kopech used to be a closer, and Brusdar Graterol. And so how do I say maybe the Dodgers have finally gotten the message? Take last night's starter Clayton Kershaw, pitches 6 innings. Maybe, just maybe, the Dodgers have figured out it's a good idea to not hook the starter after 4. Just saying, guys, it might be a little bit better off if you do that. Now, as for starting pitchers, Roki Sasaki is scheduled to throw 2 innings of live batting practice over in Arizona today. We face reality on this channel. It has been an ugly offseason for the Kings. You know, for years, in the latest example, for years, cap analysts would go across the NHL and said that the contract the Kings gave Drew Doughty was one of the worst in NHL history. Then Ken Holland gets the general manager gig. He takes one look at free agent Cody Ceci and says, hold my beer. But at least Holland is now focusing on taking care of the players who actually do have a future in LA, who want to stay in LA. Restricted free agent winger Alex Laferriere has signed a 3-year extension. The former 3rd-round pick has proven to be really useful in just 2 seasons. He played all 81 games his rookie year, but then he followed that up in year 2 by proving that he could play at either wing. And by the way, scored 19 goals in the process. So that ain't bad. Now the new deal starts off at a little less than $3 million a year. Then it bumps up to a little less than $4.5 million in year 2. The Kings' next priority, and Holland isn't that dumb, he's been saying it too. The next priority is obviously Adrian Kempe, who's in the final year of his contract, and he's averaged 34 goals a season over the last 4 seasons. Lincoln Riley was asked about offensive lineman DJ Wingfield, who transferred to USC from Purdue, but in order to play, he had to file suit against the NCAA just to get the chance. If you're a UCLA football fan, it's very similar to transfer wide receiver Caden Robinson, who came over from Appalachian State. Now, Robinson's request for a temporary restraining order was denied. His suit will continue on to court. And obviously, back at Heritage Hall, Wingfield is following that case super closely, because he came to LA under the assumption that he had eligibility left, and as such, would be the Trojans' starting left guard. So, Riley said of Wingfield, quote, he's not doing very good. I'm not supposed to comment on these things, but what's happening with that, and not just DJ, but across the country, just isn't right. There's guys all over the country that are just in absolute limbo right now, unquote. Striker Son Heung-min has told Tottenham Hotspur of the Premier League that he doesn't want to play for them anymore, except maybe an exhibition match in his home country of Seoul, Korea this weekend. Now, Son did not mention where he wants to play after 10 years in North London. But multiple reports are suggesting his first choice is LAFC, and on some levels, you could see how it would make sense. The United States is home to the largest Korean population outside of Asia. Many of them, I would even go so far as to say most of them, live in LA. Now, it is a little bit of startling piece of news that a guy would leave the Premier League and come to MLS. It's happened before, but, this might be a little bit of a surprise. But the Spurs apparently have options to move on from him. So they don't have an issue with this. Kind of makes you wonder if they're happy he's leaving. but I digress. LAFC has added defensive lineman Jalen Hargrove, a transfer from Rice. The dude tops 308 pounds, which means he's going to be in the middle. But how often will he be there? Because the dude only played 6 games for the Owls last year. And meanwhile, the Bruins rebuilt their defensive roster from scratch. They have 5 other defensive tackles on the roster already. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, about the idea of Keenan Allen returning to the Chargers. Or for that matter, where did the Dodgers go now in terms of getting those elusive final 3 outs? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Can Cortel Queso production. Take care.